Welcome to Two Doors Down. This Thanksgiving week, we wanted to do something just a little bit different and share a Thanksgiving message with everyone.
Yay, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, my
Okay.
favorite holiday. It's always been.
In church this week, our pastor suggested that in order to thank someone, one must first humbly accept that you couldn't do it alone, and therefore thank someone else for doing what you could not. Of course, with church being the context, we must thank Jesus for paying an unpayable debt.
Mm.
I thank my son Kevin and his wife, Lucia, for bringing into this world our grandkids, David and
Oh,
Elisa.
those are the gems of our world, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
David and Elisa.
Mm-hmm.
Love them to death.
And I thank Toby for rekindling a flame within me, for giving me a yearning to go on.
Hmm.
I thank God for making all this possible.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I thank God too.
You
God brought us together. Each of us fought like heck to tell him he was wrong, but
yeah,
he was right.
he was right.
He
In the
was
end,
right. Yeah.
he was right. Not only was he right, but he was right to the tune of how many years now?
15. Well, 15 we've
15.
been married. 16 we've been together.
15. Seems
Hmm.
like an eternity.
It has been. And it will be an eternity.
uh, what else do you have to be thankful for?
Well, I'm thankful for my mother, especially. She was just my lifeline before Chris became my lifeline. And she's just the most wonderful person in the world. And I miss her so much every single day.
Your mom and dad
Hmm.
established in you a character that has withstood
Yes.
and withstood
Withstood's
and
a good
withstood.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for my brothers and sisters, and I love them all. And I know that with some of them, I kind of have a little wedge and some distance now, but that doesn't mean I love them any less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking of that too. I was thinking, thankfulness and forgiveness are two kindred
Yes,
spirits.
they are.
And really what they boil down to is less about the forgiver or the thankee,
Uh-huh.
and more about the thanker
That's
or the
right.
forgiver.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
really about what happens on the inside
Yes.
when you decide, when you make a choice, a conscious effort, a choice to thank or forgive somebody else.
Yes.
It realigns things on the
It
inside.
really does. And I want to give a special shout out to Colleen, my fellow orange loving, cat loving, John Maynard loving sister, who I've really come to know very well over the last 3 months now it's been. And we're kindred spirits. I mean, we text each other all the time, and she'll say something and I'll say something, and she'll say, "Oh my God, it's freaking me out. We're so alike," which makes sense because John Maynard loved us both. So kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you did have there was a, what would you call that? A sort of a catalyst,
I'd say
a
catalyst.
fulcrum, this point between
that
you
we
that
revolved around, and now that point's gone, and so we've come together.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool relationship. So I'm grateful for Colleen this year.
I'm also grateful for my mom, especially my mom. She was a bitch.
I loved her. She
But
was stern and wise.
Yeah.
She didn't pull any punches.
Yeah. She was not here to be my friend.
That's right.
And she made it clear. She made it abundantly clear that she was not here to be my friend. She was here to be my mentor.
Yes.
And she was.
Yes.
Very much that.
She became my mentor too.
Yeah.
For the couple of years I knew her.
She was filled with wisdom, and the wisdom from which she dipped into was life and pain and agony and lots of mistakes, and when you live your life that way, when you get kicked in the face enough, you come out on the other side with some understanding about how life works.
Yeah.
And she shared a lot of that with me.
Yeah.
So I thank her for that. I don't think that we should carry on along
No,
long
I
one
don't either.
today?
But, I'm also grateful for Kevin and Lucia. I've never felt like the step grandmother. I've always felt like part of the family.
Well, you are a part of the
Yeah,
family.
I am.
Your
And
grandma.
yeah, and I'm grateful for that because it maybe wouldn't have been that way.
Yeah, and the kids see you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's grandma.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it.
That's right.
That's who you are. So that spirit is a good one.
Yes.
So I have a story.
Okay.
This is a nostalgic Dorr family Thanksgiving dinner story.
Oh, I'll follow up with one too. A Phelan family story. Okay.
We sat gathered around a large candlelit table, turkey and ham, potatoes and gravy, Grandma's sweet corn recipe, green beans, stuffing, and pies, and the aromas made my stomach grumble. Christmas loomed, the kids talked, and simply being together nurtured the holiday spirit. It really did.
It does do that.
We prayed that God would bless our meal, and I listened to the joyous clinking of dishes and utensils, and then it happened. I saw Grandma had a look, as though pondering one of life's great mysteries, and up from the deepest ether of Grandma's mind spilled a question. Grandpa, do you make propane? To which Grandpa instantly responded, no, I make methane.
Grandmas are so centered as the family story. My story's about my grandma too. That's pretty good. Profane. Your funny tagline. I think that's hilarious. So I always had Thanksgiving at my house. And I loved it. I loved cooking the turkey. I loved having everybody over. I loved putting out my good dishes. It was wonderful. We had, 35 people for Thanksgiving every year. And we always played games after Thanksgiving. And my grandma, my mom's mom, was such a stinker. She'd play every game and she'd win every game and she'd laugh and she'd cheat. And we all knew it and we all let her. And she just had the best time. Skippo, Uno, whatever we had to play.
Yeah.
Grandma was right there in the middle.
How old was she?
She was 92, I think, when she died.
92.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she made these best homemade noodles. My grandma was a cook. And she baked pies, but she made homemade noodles for Thanksgiving every year. And when she died, my oldest son, Andy, looked at me and he said, we'll never have Thanksgiving again.
Yeah.
I said, we'll have Thanksgiving. Grandma just won't be there. He said, but who's going to make the noodles? And my dad.
Who's going to make the noodles?
Who's going to make the noodles?
Yeah,
It can't be Thanksgiving
How old was
without
he when he
Grandma's
said that?
noodles. Probably, I don't know,
10 or 12 or
something like that.
Yeah.
My dad, my dad was a terrible game player. We played Pictionary one day and he was my partner. And it's where you get a clue and then your partner has to draw a picture to make you guess the clue. Well, my dad drew window and I happened to be his unlucky partner. And he started his drawing with a foundation for his house. And then he drew the walls of his house and he put a roof on the house and he put a chimney on the house and he put a sidewalk and stairs going up to the porch. And the whole game was over before he even ever started drawing one single window.
Huh.
He was so methodical and so precise. It was just who he was.
Yeah.
He was a terrible Pictionary partner.
Yeah.
There was no hurry up button.
Who's going to make the noodles?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the beauties of being grandma and grandpa, David and Elisa bless our lives for being
Yes,
here,
they
right?
do.
But I think just as importantly is I like to notice that it's their age right now that I really enjoy.
I love the ages, 10 and 9.
Yeah, they're not little tiny toddlers that
They're
don't have a personality
little people, and you
or
can
thought
squint your eyes
processes.
just right, and you can see the teenagers there's going to be, and you can see the adults they're going to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they have personality and they
they're
have their own
distinctly
intelligence. And
different.
they're different from all of us and different from each
Different
other.
from each other,
They're
yeah.
even different from themselves. Even just a year ago,
Yes,
they're different. They're just
yes.
different.
Mhm.
And I just think that that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a grandparent is the cherry on life,
Mhm.
the cherry on top of life, I think.
Yep. Well, in closing, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and we will come together
Yeah.
next week for our next episode
Which
of
is
Two
time
Doors Down,
zones.
which is time zones.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll be putting out time zones next week, so look forward to that.
I hope your Thanksgiving was awesome. Thanks for listening.
God bless.